So the first question Stacy offered up was about new earth and leadership, not just new earth leadership, but new earth leadership and action. And we love that. Can you guys feel the difference between new earth leadership and action? Action carries such young energy, it's motion, it's drive, and we appreciate that you added that in the wording of your question, Stacy, because we would say that the new earth requires action as much as it requires an unfolding. So in other words, we would say that new earth leadership is embodying that aspect of play and curiosity. We would also say it's embodying deep acceptance. Perhaps you've already been feeling it, that you are changing. And the more you change, the more your heart expands and opens, the more easily it is to accept things, not only in the way that they've always been, not only in the way that they are changing. Stacy mentions a lot this word, and Randi keyed onto it earlier, the distractions and distortions. So we would say in our version of New Earth, or what we say by New Earth, is that the distortions and distractions of the old Earth, if you will, become very prevalent and very prominent. And so what it is to be in New Earth leadership is to have acceptance of those distractions and distortions, acceptance of I am changing and I'm not going to be the same person that I was yesterday, and that's okay. So in other words, it's not that you completely dismiss who you've always been. It's that who you've always been is a part of you that you carry as you have a greater and greater willingness to become more of who you are. And you're all here because we feel that willingness, because we are very much in tune to that willingness. And so, new earth leadership, what does it look like? Be you as a new human. Be you as a new human. Step number one, super easy. Be you as a new human. So be the newer versions of yourself. Be the version of yourself that accepts and loves and understands. We talked about that before. Love and understanding, super key ingredient in being able to expand your consciousness. Be you who loves, understands, accepts, and then allow yourself to push the boundaries a little bit more. So we would say that there are plenty of old earth paradigms that are about contraction. So if you feel yourself expanding, then you know you are the new human version of you. If you feel yourself expanding, and then, oh no, I'm contracting, oh crap, that's okay too. Acceptance, because the universe is a dualistic universe. It's always going to be contraction with expansion. And there's always going to be expansion, hover, hold, integration, love, understanding. Are there distractions or distortions? That's okay. Love, understanding, acceptance. Whoa, here we go again. And inevitably, it's going to push you out, because what new earth leadership looks like is that leading edge, not of what somebody else says, not of what Vyrrlah says, not of what this person or that person says the new earth is, but it is what who you are, and the leading edge of yourself. And there's where we need the leaders. When you are leading yourself to the edge and staying, breathing, being brave, vulnerable, transmuting those fears, then people look to you. How did you do that? You're different. I know, even if I don't know the words vibration and frequency or Vyrrlah or channeling or Q&A, yay, even if I don't know any of that, I feel you. There's a part of me that knows something is going on with you, that you are leaning into your leading edge. And I want to know what my leaning edge is. A lot of this happens subconsciously, but we're talking about it because it becomes then very, very viable leadership. And so when somebody starts to note that, go, thank you. That's a mirror. I am embodying my new earth leadership. Now, how do we take action? We would say that's a more passive way of doing it, though it's a very important way of doing it. You becoming more of who you are is a very active process, and yet allowing for you to focus just on your journey and have other people mirror to your progress is essential. But it's a little bit more of a yin thing. You're focusing just on you, and you start to get that mirrored process. We would say more of the yang version of action is to find that thing that inspires you and also scares you. We'll say that again. New earth leadership with action is to find that thing that inspires you deeply and also scares you. Because if you're inspired to do something and you're not afraid to do it, then it means you've done it before, which is fine. That's not to say that that negates your action. It is to say that it means that to be a leader, an active leader, we must go to those places that we've never been before. And what will always stop us from going to those places that we've never been before is unfamiliarity. And unfamiliarity always has a little fear underneath it. So, in other words, what makes you a little nervous? What makes you feel vulnerable? What makes you feel like, whoa, I didn't plan to go there, but I did. And hey, I'm okay. I'm here, I'm holding, and then I'm going to integrate. And then here we go again, because you've normalized. After you face that fear, you realize it's just fear. And that's part of the human journey. That's part of the human condition. But that will also create that yin reflective state as well, because the more you push into what inspires and makes you afraid, you can do plenty of inspiration. And again, we're not saying that that doesn't grow you. We're just saying that the leadership aspect is that thing that if you are afraid of it, it means many others are also afraid. If it's easy and you're not afraid of it, it means that it's already in your new world paradigm. So in other words, you can wake up in the morning and say, I'm going to do something that inspires and scares me, which you can do every day. But we would also say that the big active steps are the steps that you've never done before, are the steps that really make you kind of go, maybe not today. I'm going to procrastinate on that. Well, maybe I'll make sure, let me see if that person's going to do it first and see how they fare. I'll think about it for a long time, or I'll talk about it for a long time, but I'm really going to kind of stay in a spinning wheel state, because that fear, whether I call it fear or not, is just going to keep me and my wheels spinning. And that's comfortable. So that happens, right? That's the human journey: acceptance, love, understanding. And eventually that acceptance, love, and understanding will show you that you're really not stepping into the fear. And that's okay. That's perfectly a path. But we would say that new earth leadership and action is to go, I'm afraid. I'm afraid of this, and that's okay. I'm going to play with it. I'm going to play with afraidness. Yeah, okay. And boom, do it. And then you become less afraid. Do it. Take action. The inspiration. This is not to like, oh, I have to eat bugs. Vyrrlah said I have to eat bugs. Are you inspired to eat bugs? If you're not inspired to eat bugs, don't eat bugs. But we would say that there is a fear element to growing, and that's part of the human condition. And it is so inspiring, not only to your alternate selves, not only to your past lives and your future lives, not only to the people who are closest to you, but to the people who are finding you because you represent that thing that they're searching for, whether it's subconsciously or whether it's that yearning that we talked about before. I see that you've been afraid, and yet you're less afraid because you do it anyway. So in other words, grow. And the new earth leadership doesn't have to look any particular way. If you are afraid of it and you're growing and it inspires you and you're growing, and then you're afraid and you're inspired and you grow, boom, here's our new earth. It looks different because there is less fear. It feels different because there is less fear. There will always be something from which you can expand from. So we're not saying that the new earth is completely fearless. We're saying that the new earth has less of it, is less contracted, so that you go. But there's always a sort of coming back. What is that? Where's my edge? Because you're human. If you were really intending in being in an edgeless space, then you would not be human, because this is a dualistic universe, and this is part of the process. Expansion, expansion, expansion. Yes? We invite you to remember that we are here with you. So in other words, lean on us and lean on all of your expanded guides, because the wider we get, the more we have stretched. Fear, stretch, fear, stretch, fear, stretch. The greater capacity we have to be with you in those moments. So in other words, this happens. You are this for other people. So you don't have to be a multidimensional being from another universe in order to hold space for somebody as they're stretching. So we say this because we know, as you are volunteering to channel tonight, that it's a stretch. Does it make you nervous? Does it make you a little clammy? Are you not quite sure of what you're going to say? Are you going to judge it later? These are all the little contractions. I'm afraid I'm doing it anyway. I'm inspired and I'm afraid. So in other words, we want to say that we're here with you, accepting you, loving you, understanding you, and growing along with you, so that the more you stretch, the more we stretch. The more we stretch, the more you stretch. It is a beautiful chicken and egg. And we would say that we're always with you in that creation and in that contraction. Yummy. All right.